Welcome back to the Rick and Daphs podcast. I'm Daphs.
And I'm Rick.
And as always, we are here unscripted and raw.
That's right. We're back. And today's episode is Anything Goes Airlines.
We've hinted at this through several episodes. We're finally doing it.
Well, part of the reason is because we just kept coming up with airline news stories. And I mean, you just gotta take what you can get. I mean, I clearly felt led to intervene on the behalf of the airlines. I mean,
sometimes fate leads you by the nose and then shoves your face in it.
Yep, exactly. And you just gotta hope that what it's shoving your nose in is good. Mm-hmm. And I think this time it's pure gold.
I agree.
As many of you know, the news has actually, honestly, since the real start of the Rick and Daphs podcast, there have been a lot of airline stories.
Tons of airline stories. Everything from people being reaccommodated to different seats, not on the airplane.
Or on the floor.
Yeah. To people, getting drunk and fondling each other. To that one where the people were stuck on the tarmac for 12 and a half hours.
Yeah.
They never even got off the ground.
Or the lady who brought the turkey.
Yes, the turkey and then the emotional support peacock.
Yeah, I mean, there's just been a lot. And it's not entirely, and that was actually our very first news story in season 2. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this has been a really long road to get here.
Yep.
And I think that, honestly, we should probably be embarrassed that it took us so long to come up with Anything Goes Airlines, because it's been right there in front of us this whole time. So today's episode is a continuation of that more classic Rick and Daphs episode,
yes,
which we hope that you all love, which is just us kind of rapping on the fly about some ideas we have to improve
something that already exists.
Something that already exists, but is woefully unentertaining.
Agreed.
And in this case, genuinely horrible.
Yeah. No one likes flying.
The only people that like flying are people that can afford to not fly with anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Or first class.
And even those people don't particularly enjoy it.
No.
Anything Goes Airlines, though, is a just revolutionary concept. Mm-hmm. But before we get started, we should probably again point out, because we've been doing such a terrible job, that we are on iTunes.
And Podbean.
Stitcher.
Google Play Music.
And now YouTube as well.
Yeah, I love that we're on YouTube.
Yeah, so feel free to share any of those links with your buddies. Bring them in to the circle of trust that is the Rick and Daphs podcast. We won't judge you for listening to this show. Certainly people judge us for making it.
Yes.
But we will not be so punitive. Okay, so Anything Goes Airlines. Daphs, what is the first thing on your list?
We're going to do a light softball on this one. Bring your own snacks. So
you're saving cash.
No more
already.
Do I have to eat peanuts or pretzels. I can bring food from outside the airport, not just like the subway in the terminal.
Well, here's the other thing, is that our goal is to make airline travel more interesting. And ultimately, this is a company that you and I would run.
Yes.
So that, I'm sorry, passengers, there's going to be some bad stuff in here, but it's going to be dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I like that your idea of cutting out overhead by not having any snacks. 2, this goes back perfectly into one of mine, which is our airline is going to be based at really small airfields. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be in the airport, so your airplane security is going to be super fast.
Yeah.
Hey, there's hey, cool, you brought your stuff. Cool, get on the plane.
Are there drugs in here? Are you sure? All right.
Go ahead. You only paid $20 for this ticket.
Yeah. Plane's not big enough to do any damage.
Yeah, right. It's not going to be a very big plane. I like that. We're already cutting out a lot of costs by making people bring their own snacks. Also, the expectation is you will not get food on this plane. Mm-hmm. It does not matter how hungry you are.
Well, there's going to be some aspects where I do want there to be food available.
It will be extremely high priced, I'm hoping.
It can be to help us, but also we'll have specials.
$1,000 for this Dasani water bottle.
We'll have specials because you're really flying this because no one else will take you. Either you're on the no-fly list or you're not welcome on the other
Or
airlines.
as we discussed, I believe in the last one of the last episodes, the Kings, Daphs Fights Medieval Kings episode, there should be a non-government no-fly list where you're just a terrible passenger. So our goal is to get that into legislation where airlines are allowed to ban you. And then we're going to be picking up the dregs of society who have been banned from flying, and we'll be taking them on. However, they will be paying. This is basically their purgatory.
Exactly.
Until they get off the list.
There will be some food that you can buy, and there's specials. For instance, fondue is free during severe turbulence.
I like that. At any point, you could eat maybe like a really hot chili to get an upgrade. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you don't vomit, then you get the seat.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing I propose. Because we're going to be flying out of these small airports, there's going to be some other things we're going to do. One is we're not going to have seating. Only first class will have seats on some flights to save space so that we can pack more people into the airplane. There will be no overhead compartments. It's literally whatever you can bring on.
I'm thinking more of like a cage setup, because last time we had talked about
Cage might be too. But hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. For one thing, we're going to start off by like lobbying the government to allow them to make a non-governmental no-fly list, i.e. you are banned from these airlines. And then once people have been banned from the airlines, then they have no choice but to come to us.
Yes.
That's our business model.
Yep.
So then we were free to exploit them and take advantage of their bad behavior for our own monetary gain.
Absolutely.
And entertainment. We would also sell a reality television show.
Absolutely.
For sure.
The in-flight entertainment is other flights going on right now.
Oh my gosh. You're like, oh, you think you have it bad? This just got rabies from that monkey over there.
Yeah. You can bring any emotional support animal you want, but you're going to be locked in a cage with it. And
so you're okay.
Yeah. You also have the ability, if you want to pay a little extra, you can gas another passenger.
You mean knock them out?
Yeah. So if the guy next to you is really annoying you,
You're like $50. Get this guy with the nitrous.
Hit a button. Laughing gas. He's out.
Wow. I think it would be more expensive than that, so we could make more money.
Well,
$100.
You could gas yourself for $200.
So I think that a lot of people would just knock themselves out so they didn't have to deal with the flight at all.
Which is why it's more expensive.
Yeah, I like that. Good call. Good call. I was thinking of some potential slogans, and this is completely off the rails, but how about this? If it has feet, it gets a seat. i.e., we will sell a ticket to anything that has feet. That excludes snakes, unfortunately, and certain fish. But basically, if it has feet and you buy a seat for it, it gets the seat. So if you bring your brown bear on the flight, you paid for it.
And you are locked in a cage with it.
Potentially.
Although you can gas it.
You can gas it.
You might have to gas it multiple times, though. I don't know how big brown bears are.
It might be quite expensive. Another slogan I came up with: the Greyhound of the skies.
That's awful.
Greyhound might be offended by that one. We would definitely get sued.
Everyone knows why it's funny, though. That's the thing about Greyhound.
It's because it's perfect.
Yep.
It's the best slogan you could have. That's my favorite. And just anything goes airlines, you get what you pay for. Mm-hmm. i.e., you're paying very little, so you're getting very little in return. I need to go to Cleveland. Well, I'm sorry. This airline only flies to Des Moines, Iowa. So you'll have to figure it out the rest of the way.
We'd have our own rental car service as well.
Anything goes cars.
Equally sketchy.
Equally sketchy. Yeah, we'd have to build a whole ecosystem to support this thing.
Yeah.
Where we're just gouging people the entire way.
Yep.
Your car's just rusted out. It breaks down. You're super distraught. They're like, "Oh, we could rent you another one for an extra $200." Mm-hmm. What? You heard me.
I like the idea of there being some entertainment ahead of time.
Yeah.
While you're waiting for your flight. So no one likes just sitting in the airport. There's always random TVs with news on or something, but you can never hear it. Let's have a gambling section so you can gamble money.
Oh, definitely. I was definitely thinking I wrote this down too. That we somehow lobby the government to make anything above 10,000 feet considered basically international waters. Then we can do anything. They can have knife fights in the.
Nice.
There will be basically there will be airspace specifically for us. Mm-hmm. If anybody's watched Altered Carbon, we'll be like that crazy, like weird casino in the sky.
Yeah. But let's say you don't have money and you still want to gamble. You can gamble with what you do have,
Your kidneys?
which is leg room.
Oh.
So
See, that's much better than what I was thinking. Your organs. There's just a guy on the like once you land, he's like, "Oh, I see you lost at blackjack. Come with me. We're gonna take a piece of your liver." Oh my gosh, man, we'd be so rich,
imagine,
but very, very ethically terrible.
yeah, but like if you want extra leg room, you can gamble for it. But you might have to have your feet in your seat, and you have there's just a guy, you're B-33. He's got a little Allen wrench set, and he like ratchets the seat all the way forward. Sorry, the guy behind you won.
Then you gotta like climb over somebody, or you're like betting for the family, so you gamble, and the entire row just like goes back at it. Your like significant other is just horribly, horribly mad at you. Way to go, Dan. We have no leg room now. I hope you're happy. I'm already flying. There's literally a manger behind me. Thanks a lot. Here's what I was thinking. This is my most bold idea. Non-stop flights. Literally, they do not stop. You are just parachuting out to your destination. So, like, it's basically like, again, this would go well with the Greyhound of the skies. So, like, let's say we take off from Auburn because we don't have enough money to get into SeaTac. So we're in Renton or Auburn or whatever. We take off and we're flying south and just, like, near an airport that we would be able to land in near Portland. Like, it's like, all right, everybody, anybody who's was planning on stopping in Portland, this is your stop. And like all of a sudden the back goes down and
it's like a bus route.
Yeah.
It just does the laps. Yeah. Either the bottom drops out and you just fall, or you're kicking out the back of the ramp.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you and like your Aunt Mabel are like skydiving down.
And if you're afraid of heights, well, you can always gas yourself for $200
and have like an attendant like come with you and pull the cord.
Right.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you'd still probably save money on the deal because we're not landing in airports. We're saving a lot of fees.
Mm-hmm.
You are also, I mean, you're not having to go back through checking or anything. Mm-hmm. However, your carry-on would be basically the only thing you could bring.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And it would be terrifying, and you'd take your life in your own hands every time.
But no one else will take you.
There would be a lot of thrill seekers that would take this airline, though. They're like, all right, we made it to Maui. This is all these like party boys jump out the side.
Well, I could definitely see us doing pretty well for a couple years until the public caught on. Like, oh, Hotwire.com says this one flight is $200 cheaper. It won't tell me what airline it is, but surely it can't be that bad.
Surely it can't be.
What's Anything Goes Airlines?
Surely it can't be that bad. Famous last words.
Right.
Maybe we could be based out of like some like country that where the legal like airline rules aren't that high, so our pilots would be barely classified as pilots. Mm-hmm. I don't think we could get any real respectable pilots. No.
Probably not.
Maybe the ones who were drunk on the job still wanted to fly.
They're on the other no-fly list.
Yeah.
You cannot fly planes anymore.
Yeah, right. No fly list, no problem. That would be our slogan.
Bad credit, no credit.
We'll take literally anyone. That's why it's called Anything Goes Airlines.
Well, and you've said that chances are, if you've been on a plane, you've had a casket and a dead body on the plane with you.
Yes.
This one, we would just have them in the seat next to you.
You're saving. There's like
save money on the casket.
Yeah, seriously, it's just like $20, whatever. Just put them in the back. There's just like a pile of caskets you have to go past to get onto the plane.
No one bothers to frisk the dead guy for drugs. Turns out he's a huge like cartel guy.
Yeah, right. There's all these drug mules who are pretending to be dead and just being put in caskets. Actually, that's a genius idea.
Genius idea.
We should definitely write that script. Here's another thing. This is kind of harkening back to basically every episode where we do anything to make something better. Competitive seating. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like so you can obviously pay up for first class, but if there happens to be seats on the flight, which there will be a disclaimer in like the smallest language and the smallest type when you buy your ticket that says there might not actually be seats in the plane, you may be standing for 5 hours or whatever. Yeah. So you show up, maybe there are seats, maybe there aren't, maybe there are limited seats. And then it's just like a competition of trivia questions, obstacle courses,
musical chairs,
literally. All right, you get to sit in this seat. You sit down and it falls apart. They're like, "Oh, that was the booby seat." And so, like the booby prize or whatever it is. That seat gets him every time. He's so excited. Sorry, there is not actually a seat there. There once was, but it's broken. So, any other ideas, Daphs?
I'm pretty much out on my main ones. I think it would be great because you could have flights that are above certain elevation and some that are really low.
Oh, low elevation flights?
Yeah.
The below radar flight?
Mm-hmm. You don't want to be tracked? That's fine. We stayed just above the interstate.
Oh, gosh. It's faster than taking a car, but not by much, because we literally navigate by the roads.
You just see a plane circling this giant, like, a freeway intersection. Some pilot with, like, binoculars. I can't read it. Go slower.
I can't make out which direction is north. That's not something you want to hear your pilot saying.
Is that I-90 or I-94?
Oh, no. The good news is that you would be, relatively close to the ground should he crash.
Yeah.
I like it.
You see, well, thank you for joining us on our direct flight to Milwaukee. Oh, this was Des Moines.
There's like man.
We'll be landing in 2 hours. You said 20 minutes.
You just gave me a great idea. If enough people vote on where the plane should go, it'll just go there instead.
Nice.
No, I need to go to my sister's wedding. Sorry, sir. If you should have convinced more people that they should go to the Badlands. People don't want to go there.
Yeah. Everyone wants to go to Hawaii. It's the cheapest way to get to Hawaii, but it's a really bad flight.
It's really terrible. Considering there's no food, the plane isn't very well flown, it's old and rickety, and there's no seats.
I just imagine that we would save money by closing all the windows, so there's no windows on the inside, and
it's just basically like a cargo plane.
Yeah, and we have our own version of like a aircraft carrier where we save money by just you take off, but then you instantly land on a barge, and then it just sails to Hawaii. How do they keep costs so low? I don't know.
Yes. Here it says the flight time is 3 days. What?
But they'll gas you for free.
I guess it was worth it.
It's like the shortest flight landing.
We just need to buy one of those giant, like a Boeing Pelicans.
Yeah.
We just basically treat it like a barge, like a flying barge, and you just jam as many people as you could in there.
Yep.
No comfort, no cost. But in all honesty, would you pay like a very small amount to ride in a cargo plane to your destination, packed in like sardines?
I mean, it would definitely depend on how bad the experience is and how much money you'd save. It also would depend if it was really good timing.
Yeah.
Because like there's so few flights that take off like Friday at 6 p.m. and come back at like Sunday at midnight, it's like, sorry, you'll need to take Friday off of work or,
Yeah.
miss part of Monday. It's like, well, not if I do anything goes airlines.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a flight taking off every half hour. We definitely have to start regionally and go from there.
Yeah.
The problem is we'd probably have to start regionally somewhere other than here where people are too snooty to take it. We'd
Yeah.
have to go to Moses Lake to start, or
The flyover states?
yeah, somewhere, yeah, somewhere over there, like Kansas or something.
Yeah. We're going from Kansas City to Omaha. Chances are good no one really knows where those are. So
Yeah, right.
you could probably pinpoint the state on the map. Not so much the city.
Yeah, right. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I think now is the perfect time to transition into our news. So we'll hit the news and then finish this thing up